Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Decidueye. Guys, I'm super excited to finally start 7th generation moveset coverage, and we will be going Pokedex order. So Decidueye will be the first one up. Rowlet fans, rejoice for your Grass Ghost final evolution. Never mind, you might want to take that one back. Now, no hate on Decidueye. I say it is the coolest design out of all of these 7th generation starters, but unfortunately, that typing is quite literally a forest curse. That we have a weakness to flying, ghost, fire, ice, and dark. Now, Trevenant has this typing, and there's a reason why we don't see much Trevenant, and it's primarily this type combo right here. That pretty much any Pokemon you go up against will have something to deal with you. Fire is quite common because of Pokemon like Ferrothorn. Ice is common for dragons. Ghost has been picking up speed, and then just all kinds of fun stuff with that flying and the darkness. Fortunately, we do have a little bit of a nerf to Talonflame, so you aren't going to get absolutely destroyed by every single Brave Bird, but it still doesn't help. Then we have the immunity to normal and fighting. That comes with the ghost territory. And then a few resistances, electric, grass, water, and ground. So mostly off of that grass typing, picking up your resistances right there. Looking at our offensive coverage, we do have a grass ghost. So our stab, same type attack boosting. Then we hit ground, rock, water, ghost, and psychic for super effective damage. I mean, it's not the best offensive coverage, and we are resisted by quite a lot. Bug, dragon, fire, flying, grass, poison, and dark. So it's not that great of a matchup that a lot of the Pokemon that we are going to be weak against can just wall us and then do serious amounts of damage super. So that is where we are going to find our first struggles with Decidueye. Looking at these stats for Decidueye, it's not really that fantastic. I am very sorry for you if this is your first look at Decidueye stats, because there were a lot of people like, yo, this Pokemon looks awesome. It came out of the leak. This was confirmed and stuff. And then if you looked into the data mine, it was not that great. So the hit points, they're average. The attack, it's average. This Pokemon is average all around, and it even has a below average speed. So you're a tanky-ish Pokemon. Like 100 special defense, 80 on the hit points is okay, but you have 75 on the defense. Pretty much a big problem is you're slow. So things are going to outspeed you. They're going to hit you with a super effective hit. Since you have a mix between your attack and special attack, you don't really excel offensively anywhere, so you're just not going to do enough damage back, and then you're going to get beat up in return. That's not that fantastic. Now, one good thing that does work in favor of the Decidueye is the Spirit Shackle. Spirit Shackle is a signature move. It is a ghost type, 80 physical move, so you will be able to get stab and decent damage off of it, and it prevents switching. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of Pokemon that don't want to go up against the Decidueye. Most of the time, it's like, oh, we're locked in? Well, I win this one already, so thanks for leaving me here with you, buddy. That's kind of what happens. Now, Decidueye also gets a really awesome ability known as Long Reach. This is going to be the hidden ability of Decidueye, and it makes it to where the Pokemon does not make contact. That's actually pretty good. There's a lot of things that affect contact out there. Rocky Helmet, Iron Barbs, just kind of new abilities like the Fluffy ability. So you're going to be able to bypass that and do a little bit more damage with a little bit more safety. But overall, it's not enough to save this Pokemon. Now, I did want to pull up the moveset. So on the page right now, we can just kind of see all the moves that Decidueye gets access to, and nothing really stands out. Like, we get some ghosty things going on with the Curse, with the Confuse Ray, but as a Ghost-type Pokemon, we are going to actually curse the opponent, which means we cut our hit points in half, and then they take a quarter of their hit points every turn. It's not like we boost our defenses and our offenses and we do awesome thing. No, we're actually a Ghost-type. So Curse sucks for us in this situation. Haze and Defog seem about right, and then we do have a couple of things in our favor, but it's not that fantastic. So what I want to do is pull up a couple of moveset ideas. First off, let's go with a bulk attack set. Pretty much what you want to do is grab an Adamant Nature, max out your hit points, max out your attack, slap on a Life Orb, and then hope for the best. Now, we are slightly somewhat tanky, which means the Synthesis as a grass type Pokemon could help us out for a bit. That we heal up a lot on the Synthesis, which means if we can do more damage than the opponent is doing to us, maybe in the long run we can win out. And also, if they're a slower, tankier Pokemon, we might be able to do okay against them, because okay, now we can do a little bit more damage since we are offensively focused, and then we can Synthesis. So if they don't have as much sustain, we're going to be able to outpace them right there. Then the Spirit Shackle does keep them in. So against bulky setup Pokemon, you might be able to outpace them, or at least if they are just trying to go for a little bit of stall, a little bit of annoyance, you can lock them in on that Spirit Shackle, kind of keep them from doing anything else crazy, and then try to knock them down with a Leaf Blade and the Sucker Punch. Pretty much my thought right here is that you try to convert damage. That, alright, you Spirit Shackle them or Leaf Blade, whatever's going to give you the most damage, since you don't have that fantastic of coverage on the Decidueye, and then you just hope the Sucker Punch picks them off with the Life Orb boosting in the end. Just trying to add those little bits of damage and then be a little bulkier than the opponent. After that, we have Scarf. So Choice Scarf is going to be another option. That with this, we are going to want a Jolly Nature, maxing out speed, maxing out the attack, going with that Choice Scarf. Just kind of hope we can double tap the opponent down, and that's really it. Like, okay, Spirit Shackle does 60%. We outspeed because we're Scarfed. They hit us. We're still kind of bulky, so we survive. Spirit Shackle, and then we KO them. And then the next Pokemon comes in. So, at best, we're maybe going to be a 1 for 1.5. Like, we can take down an opponent, then get a little bit of damage on the next opponent. We'll be okay at cleanup, because we still have some damage behind us. 107 isn't the best, but we will be able to Scarf into that, which means we can maybe pick off a lower Pokemon, try to convert for 2, and then get a little extra out of there. That's kind of the best case scenario for the Decidueye. We do also get access to the Brave Bird. However, it's just there because it's there. Like, maybe against grass and bug type Pokemon, we might be able to do something to them. But for the most part, Leaf Blade, Spirit Shackle, that with Stab is going to be more than the Brave Bird. We are not a flying type Pokemon, therefore Brave Bird is not that great of a move. Now, the benefit to having a Choice Scarf is that at level 50, we will be able to outspeed 130 base speed Pokemon, but we will not be able to outspeed 135 base speed Pokemon. So pretty much draw the line at Mega Manectric, Mega Lopunny, all those Pokemon. We still get outspeeds on other ones, which means we do outspeed a Talonflame if its Gale Wings has been broken. We also do get outspeeds on the Mega Gengar when it evolves, so we can hit them with a pretty good hit as they're coming in and stuff. But then at the same time, we do have to worry about some other Pokemon. Crobat resists us pretty well, and then can nuke us out with a Brave Bird or even a Cross Poison. But it's just kind of showing that the Scarf can do something if we are looking for those outspeeds. However, there are Pokemon reasonably at the same amount of speed that do more damage, they can Scarf a bit more effectively. These are just speed tier things, but that is what you're going to get out of the Decidueye. And then we can also outspeed like Greninja, I guess. So Greninja, Leaf Blade before it can get a chance to Protean. That's kind of the most we're going to get. Other than that, we have a special moveset. I know people are going to want to see the special because we're still 100 base special attack. It's not too much different from 107. So 252 hit points, 252 special attack, you know, just pretty much bulk with special instead. Shadow Ball, Energy Ball are going to be our options. We have Synthesis, and then stuff. We can see that other movesets that we can get access to are Haze, Defog, Confuse Ray. Feather Dance might work out if you're trying to play some kind of statusy game right there. We also do get the Swords Dance, Nasty Plot, and the Baton Pass. And that's what I mean. Like, I know people are going to kind of push for Swords Dance, push for the Nasty Plot, but we aren't fast enough. Like, maybe if we were, you know, 70 special attack, 107 on the speed, 100 on the attack, we could maybe do a Swords Dance set. But even then, we're not going to be fast, we're not going to be insane. The Decidueye doesn't really set up that well, but it does have some really powerful tools that are, like, supportive. Haze. Not a lot of Pokemon get Haze. Not a lot of Pokemon get Defog, especially in, like, non-transfer formats. It's a few Pokemon with Egg moves, and that's kind of it. Confuse Ray kind of helps out, and then Baton Pass, which means maybe the Decidueye could be a part of a Baton Pass chain. The Baton Pass speed boost, offensive boost into it. Do something. If things get bad, you Baton Pass out, and you keep the Baton Pass alive. That's going to pretty much be it for Decidueye. Other notes is that your Sinister Arrow Raid for your Z move will have a 180 base power when you use it, ghost typing as well. And now let's get into some damage calculations, because I've been talking about a lot of moves and numbers, but where does it actually apply? How do we find these effective ranges for Pokemon? Well, fortunately, Spirit Shackle is enough damage to KO a hit point invested Mimikyu, so, you know, 55 base hit points maxed out with an 80 base defense might be able to do something decent against. Then we can also go and look at the Gengar. Gengar will go down to that Spirit Shackle, and since we will outspeed it with a Scarf, let's go and find out how that will work. So let's go and change it to a Jolly Nature, and then we will also be getting rid of the item, so effectively no item. So Spirit Shackle will still find KOs on a Gengar if we are max out speed, Jolly with that, but that's a super effective hit, so it really just depends on where the meta goes. If there are a lot of Ghost type Pokemon in the meta, you might be able to cheese some things out right here with that Spirit Shackle for the super effective damage. But other than that, we're going to be looking at just those conversions and those little bits of extra damage. So that's where we go into Pokemon like Salamence. Now, the reason why I want to bring up Salamence is it's above average on defenses, and it's going to kind of give us an idea of how much damage we can do to things. So in this case, we can see that our damage fails us pretty hard. So Spirit Shackle is going to be a neutral hit, but even with an Adamant Choice Scarf, we're not going to be getting that much damage. Adamant is going to be less damage than the Jolly Nature as well, so we're not outspeeding as much, and we have a low chance to two-hit KO the Salamence, and then you know, Salamence can return a lot of damage back to us as well, and that's kind of just not going to be super fantastic. And then when we go and look at some other Pokemon, say Weavile, for example, that's going to be an average-ish sweeper Pokemon, you know, those Pokemon that we were talking about in that range of high speed, roughly low defenses, but very powerful offensively. We're not going to be able to one-hit KO a Weavile, so we'll outspeed the Weavile, we'll do some damage on that Leaf Blade, but then it can just absolutely ruin us with an Icicle Crash or a knockoff. So against those situations, like if they hit us super effective, we can't do as much in return, and most Pokemon are just going to have better coverage than our Ghost, Grass, and I wouldn't really rely on Sucker Punch for too many of those other KOs. And that's just kind of showing us that unless we're in like a more stalled out kind of battle, maybe the Synthesis will add up, maybe we can add something to it. But other than that, we need the Choice Scarf to outspeed enough. If we're playing Trick Room, then the Life Orb Adamant changes some matchups around, but that's just a lot of damage on top of a lot of damage that we would get on most any other Pokemon anyways. So that's kind of it.